Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is part 1 of our story. If you like this what if story and want to see part 2, let me know in the comments below. Before we start, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. Also, check the description for more great content and my playlist. This story was posted by 𝗔𝗂𝗁𝗧𝗵𝗲 on Wattpad. Now let's start. Third-person POV. If Deku opened the door to the league's bar. Wandering in, he walked up to 𝗕𝗁𝗁𝗧𝗵𝗲, ignoring the others present. 22. Anyone knew you want dead? Deku asked with a cheerful tone. 30. 𝗕𝗁𝗁𝗧𝗵𝗲 looks at Shigaraki, who is clearly pissed off by Deku ignoring him at first. Yeah, all might, Shigaraki says, answering for 𝗕𝗁𝗁𝗧𝗵𝗲. 44. Try again, he isn't new to the list, Deku responded with a smirk. You should kill 𝗕𝗏𝗏, chimed in a voice from across the room. 347. 𝗕𝗏𝗏, why not? This will be a fun challenge, said Deku, now thinking about how he could go about killing the number 2 hero. 159 times skip, brought to you by me writing this at 1 AM. 144. Deku got to his hideout, which was just our apartment, but he calls it his super secret villain hideout. 198. Sharpening his knives, Deku kept thinking about how he can kill the number 2 hero. After reviewing some great options like putting poison in his food or boiling him alive, Deku settled on going for a sneak attack. This would not only catch him off guard but also give him the chance to kill him with one shot, and one shot was all he needed. 164. Deku tracked 𝗕𝗏𝗏 for weeks, just preparing for the perfect time to strike, also figuring out his schedule. 6. Deku made a date and decided that tomorrow was going to be the day he killed 𝗕𝗏𝗏. 212 times skip to the next morning. 1. Deku woke up the next morning at about 7 AM. Knowing the streets that 𝗕𝗏𝗏 patrols today, Thursday, Deku behind a building, back pressed against the wall, gripping the knife with all his strength. 22. 𝗕𝗏𝗁𝗧𝗵𝗏 POV. I can hear the heavy footsteps of the hero coming steadily closer. For taking a deep breath, I jump out from behind the building, surprising 𝗕𝗏𝗏, or so I thought. He quickly stepped back and missed the blade completely. He grabbed my arm while he activated his quirk, burning his handprint into my arm. 130. Knowing he has a tight grip on me, I use that to my advantage and using his hold on me as a source of power, run up him and end up doing a flip, breaking his grip on me in the process. 25. I stand my ground and get out another knife, so I now had one eye each hand. I lunge at the number 2 hero and managed to get several slices in before I had to pull away, so I didn't end up with too many burn scars. 19. Before I knew it, I was surrounded by a ring of fire, so I can't run, with 𝗕𝗏𝗏 slowly walking towards me. I get into a fighting stance, ready to fight some more. I started to adjust my grip on the knives so I could throw them at 𝗕𝗏𝗏, but I started feeling really hot and dehydrated. 77. The fire. 45. With the fire around me, I'm sweating too much, causing me to not be able to fight as well as I could at full strength. 5. Shoot. 44. I need to end this fight quick, before I'm immobilized. 6. I know I'm going to collapse soon from heat exhaustion, so with the power I have left, I grab a 3rd and 4th knife from my sleeve and throw all 4 of them at 𝗕𝗏𝗏. 17. I aimed for his throat, heart, and legs. I collapse on my knees and fall to the ground. I was slowly going unconscious. I peek through my eyes and see 𝗕𝗏𝗏 fall to the ground next to me as the metallic scent of BLD filled my nostril. With that, I passed out. 111. Random bystanders. POV. 106. I was walking home from a rough day at work. John was made employee of the month instead of me. I do twice the work he does. Damn, this world is unfair. I turn the corner and nearly trip. I look down to see what almost tipped me, and I see 408. 𝗕𝗏𝗏, the pro hero. 𝗕𝗏𝗏 knocked out. No, bleeding out. Oh God, what do? I decide to call the cops, because what else am I supposed to do in this situation? Eventually the cops pull up and put the other kid that was also knocked out in a stretcher and take him in an ambulance. They also put 𝗕𝗏𝗏 in an ambulance and do their medical stuff on him. Man, this day sure went from boring old Thursday to seeing a nearly dead pro hero. Life throws so many curveballs. 208. Deku's POV. I slowly start to open my eyes, but squint at how bright it is and try to lift my arms to cover my eyes. Keyword is try. 139. As I try and lift my arms, they won't budge. This quickly made me get over the brightness, and I tried to sit up, but to no avail. I started looking at my restraints. There are 2 straps holding my legs down to a bed, 2 straps holding my chest down and what feels to be rope tying my hands to the headboard of the bed. It seems like a twin-size bed with white sheets. The room doesn't look like a hospital room though. 175. Then someone coughed and I looked to see who made that noise. Across the room stood 5 adults, 2 of them I knew of, or at least have noticed before, the other 2 I had no idea, and one of them was All Might himself. 48. So you just going to stand there and stare, or are you going to say something? I said after far too long of awkward silence. 33. Yes, I think we've waited long enough. I'm 𝗧𝗓, the principal of UA Academy. This detective here would like to ask you some questions if you don't mind. 10. I'll answer only if you undo these restraints. I don't think I can answer properly if I'm tied down. I just really don't like being immobilized. 1. The bear. Whatever it is, responded by saying, we will let you out of the restraints only if you promise that you won't try anything. Do you promise? 80. Sure, I promise. 77. Okay, in that case. The bear thing looked at another person in the room. His hair was a black tangled mess and he looked like he hadn't slept in the last week. Aizawa, let him free from your scarf. 61. Scarf. I was in a scarf. This rope was too strong to be a scarf. But sure enough, the person the bear called Aizawa nodded and undid the restraints. 6. I sit up, stretching my arms and legs a bit. I look up from my wrists and say, okay, what questions do you have for me? Deku's POV. I sat up on the bed with my legs dangling off the side. Mostly everyone looked a bit on edge when I moved, but it does make sense. All they know about me is that I took down 𝗕𝗏𝗏. Speaking of which, is he alive? I guess I'll need to ask that later. 13. While I was thinking, the detective pulled up a chair and sat kinda close to the bed, but not close enough for him to be in range for an attack. He pulled out a clipboard. Darn, he wants to look professional. He starts off by asking a stupid question, so what is your name? 25. He really thinks I'm going to answer that. John Doe. I respond with a smirk peeking through my lips. 363. We really need your name for 𝗕. Let him be, he won't answer it if he won't want to, there's no point in wasting your breath. The detective was cut off by the person the bear guy called Aizawa. I kinda like Aizawa, he understands villains apparently. 42. Okay, then can you tell us your villain name? For I've been waiting for this question. The Reaper. My smile grew bigger as I saw All Might's smile waver for a second. For some odd reason, just a name can strike so much fear, and it's hilarious. 64. The Reaper. The detective stuttered a bit when he said the name. 35. The one and only. I made a wide hand gesture as I said that. 28. He wrote down my villain name down on the clipboard. His hand was clearly shaking. Hilarious. 6. He looked up from writing and asked me the next question. How old are you? This is also a fun question, though last time I told someone my age they were dead in the next minute at the hands of my blades. 9. 15. I say nonchalant. 116. This had a lesser reaction than my villain name, but they were still surprised. I mean, how often do you see a murderous 15-year-old? Not often. He wrote my age down. And then eventually lead into the next question. 47. How long have you been a villain? That's a tricky question. I've always wanted to be a villain, but there isn't an official test or something to see if you're a pro-villain or not. So I just went off of the first time I killed someone. 6. About 4 years. But I've only had my name known for less than a year though. 51. This sadly didn't have much of a reaction, darn. 20. Are you a part of the League of Villains? No, not a chance. The League is filled with immature adults while I am an insane child. Big difference. I started saying that serious but ended up smiling at the end. 236. Okay, I only have a few more questions. Go for it. Okay, clears throat. What is your kill count? 67. If the room wasn't silent before, it sure is now. I could sense the anticipation in the air. No one knew my official kill count. I've seen people guess from saying 30 people all the way to 50,000 people. 16. I stared All Might directly in the eyes. Why in the world would anyone keep track of that? I might be sick, but I'm not that sick, you psychos. Mostly everyone looks caught off guard. Wait, let me guess. You all just want the count so you can condemn me based off of my word. Probably because everyone else has around 15 kills at most. They can keep count. Only if 13. So what I'm understanding is that you have more than 15. The detective questions. I lean in a bit close to him, leaving my hands in sight so they don't think I'm about to kill him or something. When I say in a low voice, almost a whisper, "Is this what you get off to at night? People's kill counts." 92 what? He responds quick 35 backing away and leaning back on my arms a bit. I say, "Hey, might as well ask you a question, you've been asking me a bunch. So do you have a number to the amount of innocents you've murdered?" Well, I wouldn't call them all innocent now. You see, these people made enemies and those enemies paid me to off them. Or they were just bad people that the world could live without. 25, enough explanation, do you have a count or no? He's clearly getting tired of my attitude. I mean, I wouldn't be able to stand talking to me either, most the time I'm a smart but. Let's just say I've killed him, I've got to think about this one. I got around like any here form 3 to 10-ish bounties a week and then I have my bystander kills, and not to mention the people that this world is better off without, for about 4-ish years, 13, so how many is that? 10, you say that like I just was doing the math, that isn't my job. If you want to know you have to do that for yourself. I say with a smirk and an incredibly cheerful attitude for my circumstances. 2. There was what felt like an eternity of silence with the scribbling of a pen in the background. 1. So, do you want to know your own death count, Reaper? No, I say serious. If I wanted to know I would have kept track myself, not claim these fuggy numbers as my own. For the silence was deafening. Then 𝗫𝗠 just out of the blue said, "We have our work really cut out for us." 33 Wait, what does that mean, they have their work cut out for them? What are they planning? I guess my confusion was obvious because 𝗫𝗠 then started to explain, what UA is doing is we are trying a new villain rehabilitation program, where basically villains like yourself who are young enough, will attend UA under intense supervision in hopes that you will decide to change your ways and at least become a decent citizen and at most the world's best hero. 124 World's best hero for I started crying laughing. World's best hero, he must be joking. 68 I cut off my laughter and immediately went serious. 22 I'd rather go to jail, I stated with a blank face. 178 Well, you don't have a say in the matter. 𝗫𝗠 respond. You will be in Mr. Aizawa's class, Class 1A. As today is Friday, you have tonight, tomorrow and the day after to get settled into your dorm room and meet the other students. I'll let Aizawa explain everything else. 𝗫𝗠 got up and walked out of the room, followed by All Might and the detective, leaving Aizawa and Recovery Girl in the room with me. 87 I'm assuming we are in the nurse's office based on UA's school nurse was here. Aizawa threw me a metal bracelet saying, "Put it on." By the look of it, it was a quirk cancellation cuff. I snickered internally thinking about how they all think I have a crazy, incredible quirk. I put it on just as a joke at this point. Aizawa then said follow me and I did as told. There was no point in getting on my new teacher's bad side. I followed him out the door and down several hallways. 129 While we were walking he was talking but I wasn't paying close attention. Something about if I kill people I will probably end up dead blah blah blah. I was thinking about how Kaken was at this school. All of a sudden I got a gut feeling, who's following us? I ask in a calm rational voice. 6 Ms. Midnight, that way if you try anything, and I mean anything you will be put to sleep. 128 Fair enough. 15 We keep walking and I realize that my clothes have scorch marks on them still from my fight with Endeavor. I roll up my sleeve and see if the burn handprint was still there. It was gone. Wow, that Recovery Girl is good. I think to myself. 54 times skip we reach the outside of the Heights Alliance buildings. We enter the first building and I was told to wait in the main lobby-esque area before we get to where the students are. I sit on the couch and wait. 9 Todoroki's POV 75 I was studying with Yaoyorozu when Aizawa entered the dorm area. He looked a bit disheveled but he is a pro hero so he could have just got back from fighting villains, but why is he here? 40 He looked at the couch. Sitting there was Kaminari and 𝗬𝗪 playing video games together. Bring the rest of the class out here now please. 5 With Aizawa saying that Kaminari and 𝗬𝗪 practically jumped out of their seats and started running down the hallway saying, "Sensei wants us all gathered." After about 2 minutes had passed everyone was in the main area. 1 Listen up, there is going to be a new student dash. Naturally, everyone started cheering and got really excited, cutting 𝗧𝗏 off. 4. If you will shut up, I can get through this faster. 𝗧𝗏 yelled. This doesn't seem like a good news, student. 33. Now, let me finish my explanation before you start making noise. This new student is a villain. 22. That caused some gasps and some confusion. Why would a villain be joining a hero course? 30. From the back of the classroom I hear Ida yell. 5. But won't that be a bad idea? The villain could escape or worse, kill somebody. That statement sent a shudder through practically everyone's body. 75. Can I keep explaining? 1. Everyone went quiet, wanting more information. This villain is a teenager just like you. He's just 15 years old, and 𝗍𝗂 thinks he would be a perfect candidate for this new program called the Villain Rehabilitation Program that UA is trying to start up. He does have a quirk cancellation cuff on, but he is also physically strong, so if all of you work together and have the intention to kill, if he attacks you have a great chance of survival. Now, does anyone have any question on this? 116. I raise my hand. Yes, Todoroki. Where is he going to be sleeping? 80. In the dorm room. We have already put a lock on the outside of the door so we can lock him in at night, but we also installed security cameras. We will see if he's plotting something, or does anything suspicious. 163. With my question answered, I felt no one else had any questions, so 𝗧𝗏 said, okay, I'll bring him in. Try not to act like a bunch of hooligans. 39. And with that statement left. Everyone was talking amongst themselves. Some people were fixing their hair. Nobody knew what to expect. 72. Deku's POV. This is so boring. I am just sitting here waiting. I feel around in my sleeves to see if they forgot any of my knives, but to no avail. The pros even got the ones in the soles of my shoes. Darn those pros. 83. I hear the door from the stairwell open. 𝗧𝗏 was holding the door open, making it clear that I should follow him. Let's do this stuff. I say, leaving the couch I was just sitting on. 1. We climb the steps to about the 3rd floor. Teach opens the door to the dorms and I see 19 very on edge students eagerly waiting for my arrival. 22. The door shuts behind me. I'm now just standing in front of these wannabe pro heroes. Wow, they look pathetic. 25. Deku. 114. I heard a voice say from the back of the wannabe pro heroes. I see the crowd shift and see Kaken. 55. Kaken was now in the front of the crowd. His face looked priceless. He had a small tint of fear, but mostly just shock and confusion. A smile grew on my face. Oh, this is going to be fun. 4. No, he can't be a villain. The hero-loving Deku. 117. Oh yeah, everyone thought I loved heroes. I guess my acting skills were better than I thought. 1. Oh no, Kaken. I loved villains, always had, always will. I say, taking a step closer to him. A few students saw me approaching and immediately took a few steps back. It's just not socially acceptable to like villains, putting air quotes around socially acceptable. 71. 𝗧𝗏, clearly noticing that Bakugo knew the Reaper, asked the same question. 2. Bakugo, what is his name? He asked causally. 1. Bakugo looked up, a bit disheveled, realizing he's the only one who knew the villain in front of him. His name dash 83, don't you dare Kaken. 33, is 103. Without skipping a beat I attempt to pin Kaken down. I lunge at him, grabbing his arm and placing my leg behind his knee, causing him to fall backwards, stopping him from saying my name. 34. As soon as Bakugo hit the ground I was taken back by the same restraints that healed me to the hospital bed. I was immobilized by the scarf while a red-haired boy attempted to help up Kaken, but he refused the help. He's always been so arrogant. Now that I'm restrained I can't stop him from sharing my name. Fudge. 59. 𝗧𝗏𝗵𝗲. His name's 𝗧𝗏𝗵𝗲. 158. He did it. He shared my identity. Frick you Pomeranian. I would flip out off, but I can't move my hand. 72. Yeah, well, last time you moved that hand I ended up on my butt. 131. His response was fair, so I dropped it. 2. The red-haired boy that tried helping Kaken did something for once. Wait, Midoriya, I swear I heard that name before. Wait, he looked at Kaken and a black-haired kid. Wasn't he the kid that went missing last year? I looked up with pride. Turning my head to 𝗧𝗏 I say, could you undo these restraints please? I say with a smirk, Are you not going to attack any more of my students? I'll leave them alone. I say 39. The restraints loosen and become undone. I stretch out my shoulders and arms. Yes, I am the kid that went missing last year, but don't think I won't hesitate to kill each and every one of you if I had the chance. If this were a fight in the streets, you would all be dead in a second. I've killed more people than the pros probably saved. I am not a joke to be taken lightly. I turn my back to them and start walking to the wall behind me. With that, everyone is silent, everyone except one person. How many people have you killed, Deku? 66. I turned around, leaned against the wall, and while smiling said, 2034, and many of those were pro-heroes. There might even be more dead, those are just the one that I saw die in the street. Some have been rushed to the hospitals only to die later. It is tragic but oh so fun. Oh, I already missed the death. 89. I love this feeling, it's like a drag. The feeling of everyone around you being horrified of you. It's a appealing feeling. 283. Meanwhile, Aizawa just looks tired. It's obvious he doesn't want to be here anymore. 34. While still smiling, I turn to the teach and say, so where am I sleeping? 1. He looks at me with his normal, I don't get paid enough for this job look. 107. Follow me, child. 85. As we walked through the crowd of people, I made eye contact with some of the students just because I knew it would scare them. It worked, and I definitely was laughing in my head. Third-person POV. Aizawa showed Deku to his room and told him that he won't be able to leave the room from 2300 hours 11 p.m. to 6:30. That way they know he won't be sneaking around the dorms late at night, and if he gets too villain-like/dangerous, they can confine him to his room. 33. Deku spent the night thinking about his situation. How could he escape? Also how he's going to deal with Kaken, and how he himself is trying to avoid become one of 𝗧𝗏's self-righteous heroes. Deku's room was very basic, black bed sheets, a window that not only had bars in front of it but what looked like a sensor, so if he opens it, it would make an alarm or alert someone. 64. The room had a desk with a chair and a dresser. As Deku looked in the dresser, he only saw uniforms. Rolling his eyes, he looked into more drawers and saw that there was some other clothing. Insert whatever you want Deku to be wearing. He put on more comfortable clothes, taking off the villain outfit that had scorch marks on it still. 195. Deku does his nightly routine and went to bed. 44. The next morning, Deku's POV. I slowly start to open my eyes. Looking around, all the events that happened in the last day came flooding back. 𝗬𝗓𝗐𝗐. 252. I sit up and stretch a bit. Looking at the alarm clock in my room, I see that it is 10 o'clock. I've never really been a morning person. I'd rather go out and do my killings at like 2, but naturally no one is outside at 2, so I tend to kill around 2200 hours 10 p.m. because that's when it's mostly drunks and others some out. Thinking about killing only makes me crave BLD more. 80 ugh. 10. I put on an outfit of your choice. I miss the feeling of my knife under my clothing, pressing against my skin. I miss my knives. Maybe I could grab some from the kitchen. They are bound to have some form of sharp object there. 158. With that thought in mind, I walk out of my room and follow the hallway to the kitchen. I look around and see no one there. Too cool, free reign of the kitchen. 14. I start to raid the fridge. Looking around, I see a lot of healthy foods. Damn, where does UA get their money from? I grab 2 eggs, cheese, salt, pepper, milk, and bacon bits, cut up bacon. I start looking around the kitchen trying to find where the pans are, also secretly looking for a knife. I eventually find the pan and turn the stove on medium. 29. I start getting the eerie feeling that someone is watching me. If you want to talk, why not show yourself? It's just plain weird to watch someone make scrambled eggs. I yell out, and you think I'm the villain here? That last part one kinda mumbled to myself. 51. As soon as I said that, I could feel the presence tense up. They didn't know I knew they were there. Hilarious. And they want to be heroes? Pathetic. For after I made my remarks, 6 people appeared from different hiding spots. 22. There was the red-haired boy that tried to help Kaken hiding in a room in the hallway, a blonde-haired boy with an interesting lightning bolt-looking 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 A fully pink girl hiding next to a brown-haired girl? There was a blonde, sparky French guy was also hiding behind the island 105? Wow, you guys must be really bored or really scared. Dead silence. Well, is someone going to say something? 6 Dead silence 12. Okay, fine, be like that. Scaredy cats. 15 I turned back to my eggs and started cooking them. It's so awkward with these people just watching me. I heard them shuffle around and probably went to the couch or island to whisper things into each other's ears. I finished cooking my eggs and asked, "So, do you have any questions for me, or do you just want to let your curiosity run wild?" No one said anything. Okay, someone say something because this is just getting annoying, right? Then the brown-haired girl asked, "What's your quirk?" Aizawa said, "You have a quirk cancellation thing on, and I'm curious. I mean, you took down Bakugo in one move without your quirk as well." 70 This is a question that gets asked a lot in the media and no one seems to get it right. People just can't accept that a quirkless child can be so strong and take down so many pro heroes. 1. My quirk. I said, people always guess it's something like agility or something along those lines. The pink girl sitting beside her chimed in, "But that's what this say on the news, you still haven't told us your quirk." Correct, but that is because I don't have a quirk. 19 I say with a huge grin on my face. BS, I'm calling bull. The yellow-haired kid with the lightning bolt in his hair yelled, causing me to flinch a bit. 63. If you don't believe me, ask Kaken. He'd be happy to say that I'm just a quirkless nerd. 9 With that being said, I looked over and see Kaken, who had just entered the room. He looked curious as to why his name was mentioned. He probably didn't hear the rest of my remark though. I was just saying how I'm quirkless. They didn't believe me, so I mentioned how you used to call me quirkless all the time. You also called me, what was it? I started walking closer to the angry Pomeranian. Nerd, loser, freak, and probably many other names. 82 The class was silent. This was fun, and surly to cause chaos. 5 I looked back at the rest of the class. Did you guys know? My dearest Kaken was a big scary bully all throughout primary and secondary school. Elementary and middle school. And if I recall this correctly, 61 Kaken chimed in quietly. Shut up. 22 I still continued though. He told me to take a swan dive. 73. Shut up dash. This time more firm too, off the roof. I smirked while saying that last line. 25 This got everyone to be silent. I live for this feeling. The feeling of ruining someone else's life. Oh, I can't wait for tomorrow. Kirishima's POV 4 Wow, that was intense. 8 We all knew Bakubro was a bit of a but saying someone should kill themselves, a bit much. 18 I looked at Bakubro and he looked 14 sad. Baku is never sad. Most the time he's just angry, or no, he's just always angry. 36 I decide to see if Baku is okay. In a gentle/soft voice I say, "Bro, do you want to talk a bit?" 22 Baku looked up at me, tears in his eyes, nodded. 178 I walk over to him, and we walk out of the room down the hallway into his dorm room, leaving everyone else silent in the other room. As we walk out I hear the villain say practically yelling, "Oh no, poor baby Kaken can't fight his own battles. Grow up, Kaken. Welcome to the real world where villains won't care if your feelings get hurt." 74 There was probably more, but I shut the door, not wanting anything else to affect my bro. 64 There was what felt like an eternity of silence. So how do you know the villain? I asked, trying to not get Baku into any more emotional pain. 4 To my somewhat surprise he answered, "Deku and I grew up together, we were friends." Well, he was friends with me and I kinda bossed him around. We both were set on being heroes, or so I thought. 45 He was probably thinking about how the villain mentioned earlier that he always loved villains and heroes was just a cover. 1. Deku was so kind-hearted, and I bullied him. Eventually I got accepted into UA and I left Deku home. I didn't talk to him, I actually kind of forgot about him. Baku's face got sad when he said that last line. 16. A few weeks after arriving to UA I got a call from Inko, Yudeku's mom. She called asking if I knew where he was. What did you say back to her, Baku? I asked. He answered, crying heavily now. I said he was probably off playing hero or something. I didn't care at the time. That was the very same day headlines were made, saying, "New villain hit the streets. 58 dead. The new villain goes by, the Reaper." We all thought that Deku could have been one of the 58. Yesterday was the day I found out that he was the one who killed them all. 51 Baku was fiddling with his cuticles now. He was also shaking. Only if my brain knew what to say. I was never good at comforting people. 32. And do you think that that's your fault? I ask even though the answer is clear. 1. Yes, because before I left for you I told him that, what did you say, Baku? 5. I said that he would have a better chance at being a villain, because him and villains have one thing in common, that they're both good at being stepped on, with that I kinda kicked him in the gut and left. 120. Wow, Baku, that is deep, bro, but you do regret you actions, right? 41. I looked at him and he was crying and shaking. 40. I'll take that as a you regret being mean to him. He is back now though. You two can try getting along at least, right? 49. He won't want anything to do with me. He probably only regrets not hitting me harder once he got to UA. 50. At this point Baku has stopped crying but he is still a little shaky. I try to say what I can to comfort him. 8. He's a villain though. This is what you expect from a villain. He's trying to get under your skin, make you bad too. 205. Probably, but I can't shake the feeling that this is karma for me being a but for my whole life. 101. Hey bro, if it's karma you have your whole Baku squad with you, we won't let this villain ruin the rest of your life. We can stand strong. Also Denki could probably electrocute him if need be. 105. Baku chuckled at that last remark. 2. Thanks Kiri, but I need to fight my own battles. 98. And with that we walked out of the room and walked into the kitchen. The villain wasn't there anymore. Phew, I didn't want to deal with him at the moment. 17. Baku and I played video games until about 1300 hours 1 p.m. We decided we wanted to go out to get food, so we did. Us and the rest of the Baku squad got food. 18. I didn't let Baku find out, but throughout the entire day I was flooded with text messages wondering what happened and why Baku was so emotional. Later that night I asked Baku if I could tell people and he said I could, so I ended up giving a brief rundown of what he told me later that night to a crowd of curious classmates. 8. Time skipped to when Kiri and Baku left the room to talk Deku's POV. Oh no, poor baby Kaken can't fight his own battles. Grow up, Kaken. Welcome to the real world where villains won't care if your feelings get hurt. Wake up and smell the formaldehyde, Kaken. I've survived on the streets and built up a name for myself, while if you were in the streets I would give you a week before you're dead in a bnha. 19. I was cut off by Aizawa's scarf wrapping around my mouth and arms and legs restraining me once again. 38. I stare daggers at this pro hero, even though I would have probably ended up killing someone if I continued yelling. 2. It hasn't even been 24 hours, and you're already picking fights. This isn't the streets, Midoriya. Learn to control yourself. 34. I flinched once he said my name. He undid the scarf as I took a deep breath in. From behind me I hear a girl say, Aizawa-sensei, Midoriya is quirkless. 44. I turned my head to see who said that and I saw a part frog girl. That's a new one. 5. Aizawa's face didn't change expressions. Nothing gets to this guy. 15. Is this true, problem child? 19. He's now looking directly at me. I put a smirk on and simply say, possibly. 23. We heard Bakugo confirm it too. Doesn't that mean that he doesn't need the cuff on his wrist? The Pikachu-looking person chimed in. 6. The cuff has more qualities than quirk cancellation. For now that's all you need to know. After he said that, Aizawa left, like nothing happened. 13. What the fridge is with this class. 87. I grab some food from the kitchen and bring it back to my room. If anyone tried talking to me I just ignored them. 5. I need to figure out how to escape and quick. Time skipped to the morning of the first day of class 10. Deku's POV 2. I wake up to hearing an annoying alarm sound. If I had my knife on me that clock would be stabbed by now. 104. I roll my eyes and slowly start getting ready. I showered, brushed teeth, hair, all that jazz. 84. Still wearing a towel I look inside the drawers and pull out the UA uniform. It looks like Hero threw up on school spirit. I put it on sadly. 92. Turning my head to look at the clock that I almost stabbed this morning, I read the time. 7 o'clock. Wow, I feel early. The classes start at 7:30, so I have some time. 16. I wonder what pro hero they will send to take me to the class, since I'm only allowed outside the school and outside the dorms if I have a pro hero with me. 1. Getting lost in thought, I look to the clock and see that it's already 7:25. I might as well go into the commons area and wait. 23. I walk into the commons area and see the room empty except for 2 students. The one that goes by Denki Kaminari, who is frantically putting his shoes on, and the girl that is called Mina Ashido, who is waiting at the door for Kaminari. 1 Ishido, just now realizing I'm standing here frantically, says, how late I'm going to be, and how I'm going to have a detention. 1 I don't think she realizes that I can't leave unless I'm with a pro. I just laughed and said 1, I'm actually planning on ditching today. 1, really? Okay, just you will suffer the consequences. 10, and just like that Kaminari and Ishido ran out the door trying to get to class on time. 1 looking over at the clock on the wall, it reads 7:27:06, well the pro better get here soon if not I will be late, but I mean like why would I care 1 what if the pro got attacked by villains on their way over, huh? I'd laugh 8 as soon as that thought popped into my head All Might bursts through the door. 5, do, I say 468, young Midoriya, are you ready for school? 50 All Might practically was yelling in my face. I gave him a scowl and walked out the door with him close behind. 1, I have a quicker way we could get to you, All Might exclaimed. 1, I'd rather crawl than super speed my way there, thank you very much. I say with the least bit of interest in my voice. 15, but you're going to be late. All Might exclaimed again. 6, and it's your fault for showing up at the dorms late. 105 with that he was silent for the remainder of the walk there. 14 times skip to when Deku enters the class. As soon as I enter the classroom all eyes fell immediately on me. 2, so I guess our favorite villain didn't decide to ditch today, Aizawa said looking at Ishido and Kaminari. Once I wasn't in class at the time of the bell they probably told Aizawa that I decided to ditch. 35 I think I'm going to mess with them a bit. 1, I never said I was going to ditch, I was waiting for All Might to get to the dorms because I'm not let outside without intense supervision. That's what I told you too as well. 4, no, Aizawa-sensei Midoriya is lying. What actually happened? 45 Aizawa cut Ishido off. 1, I really don't care what happened, Midoriya, take your seat. 33, sure thing teach. Oh and everyone. 3 I turned to face the class. Call me Deku, stop calling me Midoriya, or you could also call me the Reaper if you're more comfortable with that. 47, just sit down problem child. 104 times skip after a day of classes we all get to go back to the dorms. I decide that I'm going to play a fun game with All Might. While there was a wave of people in the hallway, all headed outside. I slowly merged into the crowd and followed the flow of traffic. In my peripheral vision I see All Might go to class 1 as door only to find out that I'm not there waiting for him. 12 I eventually follow the traffic all the way to the front gate. As soon as I attempt to pass the front gate the school goes into lockdown and the front gate immediately sealed up. 20 𝗧𝗵𝗲 this fringing bracelet needs to go now. 16 I start looking around for the best possible escape route. I see a yes 10A tree 62 I start sprinting, headed towards B tree. As soon as I get close to it I start to get really dizzy and tired. Maybe if I shut my eyes for just a second. 28 and just like that I'm unconscious. 9 when I come to I look around and see that I'm in the nurse's office. 2 fudge 50 I try sitting up but to no avail for those restraints are on again. I turn my head and see Aizawa, All Might and Recovery Girl. The door starts opening and I see Nizu walk in. 1, hiya teach, did I do something? I have a face on that is obvious to the fact that I'm tied down. 13, can't you go one day without causing some form of trouble? Aizawa said while holding the bridge of his nose. Yesterday I didn't cause any trouble. 15 I was expecting Aizawa to respond, but instead I heard Nizu talk instead. That isn't he point, you're supposed to cause no trouble. 13, well what else did you expect from letting a known criminal into UA? 6, listen Midoriya. 2, don't call me by that name, I snapped at him. If I wasn't tied down I would have drop-kicked this bear/mouse thing by now. 147, okay then, listen Deku, you have so many amazing talents, we as the staff here would love to see you succeed in life, but you can't get far by breaking the rules we have set for you. What were you going to do if you got past the gate? 31 I take a moment to think, what would I have done? I kinda wanted to go to the dorms just to see All Might's face once he realized I got there by myself without a pro, but then I also wanted to run away and continue a life of crime. 1, first off, I already had succeeded in becoming one of the most feared villains, and second, I would have got away from you heroes, and slowly killed you all off. 1. 3. I did my creepy villain laugh at the end. I like that laugh, it really seems to freak people out. 89. Nizu looked at Aizawa and as if they were communicating telepathically, the restraints were undone. 1. Wait a minute, how long was I out for? I look out the window and see the sun rising. It's been at least a day. 1. Are you sure you want your student to go through this? Nizu cryptically says while looking at Aizawa. 5. If my students can't handle it, they shouldn't be at UA. 𝗕𝗂𝘁𝗵𝗲. Wait, hold on a minute. You want me to do what? I say, clearly confused by the task at hand. We want you to be the villain and try to hunt down the hero students in Amok City. So basically you are trying to hunt them down while they are trying to capture. 12. Aizawa gave a clearer explanation. So what you're telling me is that I get to use my knives. I ask hopefully. Please say I can use my knives. 1. Nizu chimed in saying, you can use this knife that the support class made. They don't have real blades, so they can't cut, but they can still be used as knives. 26. So basically they're just really dull knives, I say, feeling disappointed. 27. No, they are not dull knives. Basically it's using light energy, so if you stabbed it into a wall, it would go through the wall, but if you threw it at a person, it wouldn't hurt them, it would just leave a red mark on their outfit, wherever it hit them. 58. Darn, that's advanced. 38. The class will be starting soon. Do you have your villain outfit still? Aizawa asks for, yes, I have my villain outfit. There is scorch marks though from when I beat 𝗫𝗫𝗏. Speaking of that darn pro hero, how is he alive? I ask with smile, from when you beat 𝗫𝗫𝗏. Last time I checked you are the one who was arrested. All Might said from the back of the room. 31. I stick my young out at him. It may be childish, but I am practically a child, so it's fine. 15. 𝗫𝗫𝗏 is still recovering in the hospital. You pierced his lung, scraped his face, and got a brutal stab into his left thigh. He won't be able to do hero work for the next month at least. Nizu said, probably prepared for me to ask that question. 59. I didn't know where I hit him because I kinda was passing out when I threw the knives, hoping I would hit something vital, and I did so kinda happy in that sense. 11. Do you want to wear your villain's outfit or a gym uniform? Well, eventually take you to get a new outfit soon if you can go a week without causing trouble. Aizawa said with his monotone voice. I'll wear my villain outfit, it's so much cooler than those gym uniforms anyway. 29. And, real quick, shout out to the person who commented saying that 𝗕𝗂𝘁𝗵𝗲's outfit is a black mermaid tail dress because now I can't get that out of my head and it's slowly ruining me. At Yunyani-chan 247 we go to the dorm and I put on my villain outfit. Man, now this is a good look for me. I go to the commons area. As I enter I see All Might, this time waiting for me. Young Deku, are you ready to go? 62, yeah, whatever. I nudged past him and started walking to the main UA building. Not fully knowing where I was going, I started walking slower so that All Might and I were walking next to each other. He probably knows where we're going. 2. After a while of walking we approach what looks like a closed-in city. Where does this school get their money? 114. We approach the rest of Class 1A. It looks like Aizawa was explaining the task at hand. As we approach I hear Aizawa say, oh good, All Might is here, I can take my post now. Deku, your knives are over there. He pointed to a table a few feet away. I looked at the table and then back at Aizawa and nodded at him. 1. He walked off going to his post. They probably have pros on standby waiting for me to try to escape. I walk over to the table and examine the knives. They are daggers. The handle looks pretty ordinary, but the blade is what threw me off. It looked kinda like glass but felt like metal. I tried poking my finger with it. It didn't hurt, but once I took the knife off my finger there was a red. Not BLD though. It looked like it could be a freckle. Using the knife in hand, I plunged it at the table. This went into the table as much as a regular dagger would. 1. There were 9 knives in total minus 5 throwing knives minus 2 daggers minus 2 regular knives 25. I hear All Might explaining the rules. Your jobs as heroes are to capture the villain. The way you can capture him is by either putting this capture tape on him or knocking him unconscious. 𝗕𝗂𝘁𝗵𝗲's mission is to either capture you all, or if he hits you with his knives. 16. At the mention of me having a weapon the class gasped. All Might continues explaining, his knives can't actually hurt you, a bruise at most, it will just leave a red mark on you so we know you've been hit. If you have too many hits or a critical hit, you will be deemed immobilized and will have to exit the arena, so it is in your best interest to not get stabbed. Whoever is left standing at the end won't get homework for the next week. 35. With all that being said, I was told to enter the arena. I get 15 minutes before he wannabe heroes enter. I don't go too far into the city. I set up a few traps so that the heroes get separated faster. It's easier to take them down in a one-on-one battle than take them down as a whole. I duck behind a building, hearing the student talking as they are trying to find me. Knowing they are going to try to use their capture tape on me, I have to make a quick kill and dart. For I use my knives and climb up a building. Now on the rooftop, I look down and see them all shuffling around, trying to find me. I hold back laughs as they quickly turn corners, hoping I'm there and they can sneak attack me. Mostly everyone is in groups of 3 or 4, but some people wandered off looking for me on their own. Big mistake. I scan the area and see a bird man in the back alley streets alone. He will be my first target. Dekus POV 6. I start running on the rooftops of the buildings. Eventually I catch up to the bird guy. I don't know his quirk. All I can tell though is that he likes to work away from everyone else. 2. I climb down the building and hide behind a garbage bin placed in the street. My plan is to sneak attack him, so once he walks past the garbage bin, I throw the knife at his back. That way he won't see it coming and I can get a clean hit in. 2. He walks past, then he stops walking and turns around. 𝗬𝗏36. How did he know I was there? Then next to him I see another creature. What is that thing? No time for the questions. As soon as we made eye contact, I smirked and threw not 1 but 2 of my throwing knives at him and the thing next to him. Once I let go of the knives, I run up behind him as he dodges the knives. Him, being too focused on not getting hit with the blades, doesn't notice me behind him as I stab him in the back. 1. This hit would have killed him if I had real knives on me. Anyway, he turned around and looked at me. His expression was shocked with a bit of fear mixed into it. Oh, how I love the look of fear on people's faces. 13. I pick up my throwing knives that I threw at him and walk away. He also started walking toward the exit. 1 down, 18 to go. As I'm walking out of the alleyway that I took down the bird guy in, I lock eye contact with who other than Kaminari, who, without looking at the person next to him, tugged on the girl with the cords in her ears jacket. She turned to him with an annoyed expression while he pointed at me. Her eyes widened as she saw me. Now that both of them know I'm here, I run into another alleyway knowing they would follow. I hear them yell, "We found him." 6. I duck behind a building and wait. As soon as I hear someone running down the alley, I grip the knife harder. As soon as the hero turns the corner, I swing my knife at them, the blade hitting their throat. I look to see who I hit. It was Kakin82. I smirked at him, winked and ran off. 181. 2 down, 17 more to go. I knew I was a bit rusty, but it's been like 5 minutes and I only have 2 kills. I need to pick up the pace. For I climb another building because I needed the vantage point. Once I get to the top, I see someone else standing up there. They had red and white colored hair. For a Canadian flag, if you will. 164. If you have a good to-do name, please say it. 781. This hero hasn't noticed me yet. I take aim with one of my throwing knives, and just as I get ready to throw it, he jumps. He jumped of the freaking building. What is with these heroes? Are they insane? 45. I rush over to the edge he jumped off. Looking down, expecting to see a dead body, I see ice. 9. That must be his quirk. I need to keep an eye out for him. That quirk could be problematic for me in the future. 1. I chuckled a bit to myself. Oh god, I love my villain laugh. I've been perfecting it since I was a kid. 34. Okay, I need to focus. Looking at the ground, I am able to find 15 of the 17 left. How weird, I feel something slightly brush against my left leg. This must be where the other 2 people went. They were following me. 1. Without skipping a beat, I kick whoever was touching me, only to find out that the kick didn't work. The person felt indestructible, like I just kicked a rock. 7. It was the red-haired kid. He was trying to tie the capture tape thing on me. I jumped back and assessed the situation. No building is close enough for me to jump to, and I can't jump down without ending up dead or worse, severely injured. My blades seem like they won't cut them, but these knives only mark a person, so maybe I found a loophole in all this. 3. I spin the knife in my hand and take up a fighting stance. There is still someone else who I don't know where they are. so I need to keep an eye out for them. So am I going to take you down or are you going to give up, bro? Because I'm feeling very confident in my fighting. 18 He may have said he was confident but his face said that he was horrified. You seem too confident, let's change that. 𝗕𝗁𝗁𝗵𝗲 𝗵𝗃𝗍 Damn, this guy looked scary. As long as I stay in rock form he should not be able to stab me, so I at least have a chance. When I start running at him, before I knew it he was behind me. I felt something hit my back but as soon as it did it shattered into pieces. I hear Deku say, "Darn," under his breath. Clearly something didn't go as planned. At least this benefited me. Deku grabbed another knife from his villain outfit. He now had one in each hand. I make sure I have the capture tape ready. I run at him again but this time instead of running at me he runs away. What? He realizes that he's on a roof, right? And just like that he jumps off. 41 What is with these villains? 118 I peer over the edge thinking he had a secret quirk or something, like a quirk that made him fly or bounce or something like that. 6 As I peer over the edge I see him hanging from the wall of the building over. His knives plunged into the walls. Wow, this guy is skilled. I can't believe that worked. 16 That bicolored hair kid inspired me, what can I say? 57 Using the knives I slowly climb my way down. Looking up I see the red head looking at me. I probably could have taken him down, but it would be difficult to knock him out with his hard head and I couldn't stab him, so it's just easiest to get out of there. Ugh, if I was allowed to kill I would have pushed him off the building, but Aizawa said I couldn't kill anyone. 53 I got down from climbing the wall and dart into another alleyway. For as I'm running I hear footsteps behind me. I turn my head quickly and see the one big guy that ate the sugar and got stronger. 30 I should really figure out these people's names. It won't matter once I escape. 10 Anyways, I need to deal with the task at hand. Good thing he came to me, if not I would have had to find him. I stop running and turn to face him. He looks tired already. Prepare to go down, villain. 10 These heroes always try to say such heroic things. They realize how dumb they sound, right? 107 We both take a fighting stance while I also take out my knives, spinning them in my hand for the intimidation effect. I smirked as he started running at me. These heroes always make the first move as well. They have a lot to learn. I do the classic 6th grade boy move and psych him out by stepping in one direction but then really going on another. 39 He just missed catching me, and since we were in close proximity I was able to get a scratch in with my knife. It was a hit but not enough to put him out of commission. I put my knives away, knowing Aizawa is watching. I'd love to show him some of my other moves. 6 This guy runs at me again. He grabs my arm and tries to spin me around. He has a tight grip on my arm. He ends up throwing me. When I slam into the wall, knocking the air out of me. He has strength, I'll give him that. I pretend to be unconscious. He comes over to me and nudges me a bit. He yells over to some of his other classmates. Guys, I got him. He walked over to the other heroes who were just arriving. I get up without him knowing. I grab a throwing knife and throw it at him, hitting him square in the back. 3 down. 16 to go. Walking over to the heroes he met up with, I grab my knife back. The muscle guy walked away in defeat as I greeted the people he was meeting up with. The people there were the shy rock guy, the guy with a tail and the short one with weird hair. 102 I better handle these guys before more show up. I throw 3 knives at the same time, one scrapping the short one, getting blocked by the one with the tail and hit the shy rock guy. I see here my biggest threat is the guy with the tail. I'd assume that his quirk is his tail and the short one's quirk has something to do with the ball on his head. 34 Getting out one of my daggers I take slow steps toward them. The tail guy standing his ground while the short one is clearly panicking. Weakness has to be the worst thing to show a villain. I go from walking to a full-out leap at them. Grabbing the short one's arm I put a knife to his throat and slice. I let go of him and he walks back following the path the shy rock guy took. 3 All I have left is the tail guy now. After how easily I got rid of the other 2 he looked scared. I don't blame him. This is probably his first time encouraging a live villain whose only goal is to kill. 7 Based on this guy's hero costume, he probably knows some form of self-defense and uses those tactics while fighting. He goes into a fighting stance and I stand up tall, fixing my posture. I grab the last throwing knife I have on me. Once this fight's over I'll need to pick them back up. I noticed he blocked with his tail the last time I threw it at him. I throw the knife. Adjust so that I have a dagger in hand and run next to him, and stab him in the back. 6 While he was busy stopping the blade, I had a opining. 6 down 13 to go. I start walking away. After about a few blocks something falls on my head. It's a net 5. I look around and don't see anyone around. I cut through the net, but just then I see a floating piece of capture tape coming at me. Using the backswing from my net cutting, I cut through her stomach. 3 Dang it, and I thought we had you. The invisible girl said. We. I respond, clearly she isn't working alone, but how many others? Who else is with you? I ask, sorry can't answer, I'm dead. 119 Her tone had an amazing amount of sass for someone who is bleeding out. 22 She wouldn't be dead yet, she would just be bleeding out. Actually practically all of them would be bleeding out, if not dead. I've seen a lot of people stabbed, you wouldn't be dead yet. You would actually just be bleeding out, so you can tell me, who else are you with? Not saying, I'm going to take this to my grave. 52 I hear a noise behind me, probably the person they're working with. I lean in closer to the invisible girl. Fair enough. I stab her again just to make sure. She knows that she's dead. While stabbing I kick backwards, hitting their person behind me. 3 It was the black-haired girl that was actually pretty smart. 7 She looked disheveled from the kick. I mean, I don't blame her, my shoes are fierce. 103 She stood her ground though, she has my respect. I think she just underestimated how observant I am. That was her big mistake. This time I make the first move. I start running at her, knives in hand, while she makes a pole form in her hand. She swings it at me while I dodge. That was a close hit, you really know what you're doing. I say, it's fun giving random compliments to people in a fight. Generally, if it has anything to do with their looks, they get caught off guard and leave a opining, then I attack. 1 Thanks, I've been training. She responds with 5 You can tell a decent amount about someone just by their voice. I can tell she's tired and out of breath. She won't be able to fight against me in a long-term battle, that's for sure. 3 She swings the pole at me and I catch it, and pull her close to me. As soon as she got close, I stabbed her in the chest. 14 I back away, smiling, you fought well, thanks you too, she responded. 77 And with that I slipped down the back alley streets. 8 down 11 more to go. I head down the alleyway. I really hope that I get these fights over with soon. It's getting kinda boring. Looking around I see 3 of the wannabe heroes walking away from my direction. Perfect in front of me is a brown-haired girl, blue-haired boy, and cowering behind them is a sparky blonde-haired boy. 28 That child looks scared, better kill him quickly then. 41 I throw one of my throwing knives at the sparky scarred boy and hit him square in the back. I wouldn't expect anything less from me, I am good with knives. Instead of him realizing he's out, the sparkly boy doubles over in pain. 48 He knows the knives can't actually hurt him, right? 2 Right. 19 Either way it causes an alarm and gets the other two's attention. They immediately take up a fighting stance. They have practice in real combat, don't they? Or at least the blue-haired boy does. Either way, I'm not going to underestimate them, and they better not underestimate me. I stand my ground, then dart behind the corner of the building, just out of their view. I hear their footsteps and swing my blade at them as soon as they turn the corner. Looking to see who I hit, I realize it's both of them. 13 That was an easy fight. I slashed through both of their torsos. In a normal fight this wouldn't have been fatal, but would have definitely caused them to fall over, giving me enough time to end them completely, so I count it as a kill. They are both staring at me with shock as I start laughing at how easy this fight was. I look over and still see the sparkly child still on the ground. 1 You better go comfort him, he seems sad. I say in a mocking tone as I walk away from the fight. 11 down, 8 more to go. 6 I scale another building, this time no one is on top of it. I look across the sea of buildings and count 8 people. I start making a mini plan. Out of the students left, my biggest threat is probably the half-red-haired kid and the red-haired kid. I can't stab one of them and the other has a really powerful quirk. 5 I look back down and count the people again. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 Wait, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 3 Is he weird? 1 Go 1 Which one isn't there? Gasp shoot. 2 The half and half guy. 13 I look around the top of the building seeing if he's already up here, but it's empty, except for me. I start walking the perimeter of the building, maybe I could see if he's climbing up. No, he wouldn't do that, he's just use his eyes to climb up the building in a second. Then I start hearing a siren-like noise. What? No, that is an alarm of some kind. This might be my chance to escape. If the pros are busy dealing with this situation, I could break free. One heck, yes, 6. I climb back down the building as I see pros rounding up the students. I look around, and once I see that no pro or student is looking at me, I dart inside one of the buildings. It's empty inside, but hopefully they won't realize that I'm inside the building. Not even a minute later, 𝗧𝗏 practically kicks the door in and tangled me in his scarf. Wait, there goes that plan. How did he find me so easily? You know we can track you, right? He said in his oh so loving monotone voice. 6. Then a second later he was on the floor knocked out. What the actual frick is happening? As soon as I see him knocked out, I turn to look at the person who knocked him out. Looking around, I see one 𝗕𝗏𝗁. She threw a chair at 𝗧𝗏. Where did she get the chair from? Wait, why are you rescuing me? I thought the league hated me. 5. Shiggy might, but you will always be my little cinnamon roll. Also the league needs you for something. 76. First off, don't call me that. Second, of course you only need me for a mission. What else would I expect from you all? 4. Anyways, let's go, my legs hurt. Jesus Christ, she's already whining like a child. I still have the issue of the cuff on. If I keep it on, the heroes will know where I am, and if I take it off, the pros will certainly be alerted. Oh, I was also told to give you these. 𝗕𝗏𝗁 handed me 3 real knives. Like stabby murder knives. I ran my finger over the blade, cutting it in the process. This brought a smile to my face. Knowing that I could kill each and every one of those wannabe heroes made me laugh inside. 74. You coming, cinnamon roll? 75. Yeah, just give me a second. I need to take this damn thing off. Revealing to get my cuff. She gave me a nod. Using the knives 𝗕𝗏𝗁 brought the knife to my wrist and sliced at the cut. It didn't come off though. 5. It's only a matter of time before the pros realize I'm not with the rest of my class. They could assume that I'm with 𝗧𝗏, but he probably was supposed to communicate to others once he got me and once he came back. Earth to Deku, I was probably muttering to myself again. The way I still need to get this thing off. Fudge one, what if no, I'm not cutting off my hand? That would be dumb because then I'd probably either bleed out or not get far enough away and get arrested again. 17. Either way, I need a way out of this. I see in my peripheral vision 𝗧𝗏 start moving again. 7. 𝗕𝗏𝗁, let's go. I say, running. I need to get this cuff of though while we're running, if not they will find us in an instant. 1. We did need to get as far away from 𝗧𝗏 as possible though. He could probably take me and 𝗕𝗏𝗁 out in an instant. 8. I look over and see 𝗕𝗏𝗁 falling behind. Shoot. I forgot that she wasn't the best at endurance. She's better at straight up killing people, which is a good skill, but if you need to get away, not the best. Come on, I say while putting her on my back in a piggyback way. 12. Once we get to the league's HQ, I can get Shiggy to disintegrate the cuff off of me. Yes, that sounds like a solid plan. 2. I see a portal appear, and as I go through it I feel a weight get lifted off of my back. 𝗕𝗏𝗁's capture scarf grabbed her. The league's gonna have my head for this one. Shoot, for I am so freaking done for the league cares for each other like a family, so having 𝗕𝗏𝗁 snatched like that. They are probably going to want my head, especially if the heroes do anything to her. 2. I guess I always hated the league because they were so close. I am just not one for emotional attachments. I'm already through the portal and I'm standing at their bar. Quick Shigaraki, use your quirk to get this darn cuff off of me. I approach him as he just stares at me. If not, the heroes will figure out our location. That got him to disintegrate it. Warp Gate's portal closed, leaving 𝗕𝗏𝗁 behind. Wait, where's 𝗕𝗏𝗁? I don't care where she is. 1 twice asked from the corner. Everyone's eyes looked at me as the room fell deadly silent. How should I go about telling them? This is going to end bad for me if I'm not prepared, physically and mentally. 1. I make sure I have a firm grip on my knives. Just in case things go south. After only a few seconds that felt like eternity, I open my mouth to talk but am cut off by Kurogiri. She was captured by the heroes, but if we were able to get this one out of their grip, we can get her back too. Phew, I probably would have said someone like, she's captured, then I would have ran. This is a much better alternative. 1. Also, 𝗬𝗁𝗧𝗪 continued, you can relax your knives, Deku. We need your help with something. And with that my fear is gone and my curiosity is piqued. 1. What do you need help with and what's in it for me? I put my knives away. Well, what's in it for you is that you are no longer in the hero's control, and what we need you to do is 𝗕. We need you to torture someone. 𝗕𝗶𝗃 Shigaraki just cut right in. I mean they did get me out of that hellhole, but I still want something from them. I'll do it as long as you don't bug me for the next month. Deal. Fine, deal. Okay, why aren't you guys able to torture them? They all have some amazing quirks. They could easily get information out of them if they tried. How would me torturing them be any different? 1. This specific person has an iron strong will and you know them personally. Shiggy responds, they might actually care about you. We need them to give us information on All Might, and he acts too stubborn to respond. 50 Shiggy got a little angry at that last part. What did this hostage do to him? Anyway, the person he's describing sounds kinda like Kaken. It would be very ironic if he's the one captured. It's not Kaken, right? Right. 5. His name's Bakugo Katsuki, 93. Well shoot, the tables have turned Kaken, and I'm the one holding the knife this time. 16. I smirk as I look to the fellow villains. So where is he? 9. Note, Bakugo was taken while they were getting Deku from UA. 𝗬𝗁𝗧𝗪 opens a gate and gestures for me to go through. I enter and see a dark room with Kaken chained to the ground on his knees. Quirk cancellation cuff on and all. 3. He looks up to see who entered the cell. I stare directly into his eyes filled with fear, sadness and above all else, rage. 33. I'm not done writing just yet. We're going to go back in time a little bit to Toga's POV because why not? 1. Toga's POV. 1. My legs are giving out from how fast we are running. Wow, Dekus not only cute but fast. How does he do it? 8. He looks over to me with a look of disappointment. He can probably tell how tired I am. Come on, he yells at me, giving the hint for me to go on his back. He starts carrying me as we see a portal appear. Yes, it looks like we are going to make it out of here. Then as we start going through the portal, I feel something tightening around my neck. If I keep holding on, Deku and I will both be captured by the heroes. So I let go. 54. If we're both captured, then Shiggy will have mine and his head, and the capture of the explosion boy won't mean anything, so I let go and get captured by the heroes. I get wrapped up in the scarf thing that one underground hero that I knocked out earlier has. This is lame. For he tries to get me to walk with him to the other heroes, but I instead just sat down. If I'm going in, I'm going to make it difficult. 38. He just ended up dragging me the whole way. 56 times skip. They have me tied down to a chair in an interrogation room, so something. They took all my knives off me so I can't cut anyone. They are lame. 16. It's like they think I'm going to stab them all or something. I wouldn't do that, not now at least. 2. I see a detective walk into the room along with that school's principal and the teacher I knocked out. What was his name? Awami, Akins, Aizawa, but 94. It was one of those, I think. Hello. Are you there? I just realized I was staring at the but guy. 10. I raised my eyebrows and looked at the person who just spoke. I say back. He cleared his throat. Hello, I'm here to ask you some questions. Well then ask, don't have me waiting around all day, for I just want to get this over with and escape. Okay, clears throat. What is your name? 1. Toga, Himiko Toga. I practically yell at him with enthusiasm. That was easy. I hear him mutter to himself. He goes through other boring questions like how old am I and my quirk and all that. Eventually the principal bear mouse started talking. We have an offer for you, Toga Himiko. You can either go to jail or -2. I choose jail. I don't even want to hear the other offer. Also, they will put me in adult jail, so then I get to meet some adult friends. 3. Are you sure? The bear asks. Yup. 9. Here's the thing. He stands up and starts walking on the table, probably for the height. If you go into the rehabilitation program, and you're still a villain with villain-like tendencies, you will get to go to jail then. Does that sound like a deal? 24. Ugh, fine, but I won't be happy about it. 22. Note. This takes place right after Deku agrees to help the League torture Baku. Bakugo's POV. Ugh, my head hurts. It feels like I was just knocked out. I open my eyes and look around. When I was knocked out too, I look down and see me kneeling down with my hands chained to the floor. I try to move my legs, but those are also chained down. 10 Well, F8, I need to see if I can still use my quirk. I try to make mini explosions with my quirk, but to no avail. I hear someone step into the cement room I'm in. My eyes look at their shoes first, but my eyes slowly travel up to see a face of a long-lost friend. Except this is nothing close to what he was like as a kid. His eyes, those green eyes, had turned dark with time and rage. TK, I guess we both have rage. But we use the rage in very different ways, I guess. 2 Dekus POV, we lock eyes. Oh Kaken, didn't you miss me? I missed you. Once I disappeared, I didn't know what to do without you telling me to kill myself. 2 He looked down at that remark. Clearly ashamed about what he did, I just want to add salt to the wound. 2 Okay, I need to get information on All Might. I'm surprised that they didn't ask me about what I know about him. Sure, it's not much, they probably don't think All Might gave me any info, fair enough. I look at my old bully. He's avoiding eye contact. Pathetic Kaken, I thought he was supposed to be big and scary, guess not. I walk over to him, knife in hand. Using the flat part of the blade, I lift his chin up so we make eye contact again. Lowering my knife, I lean in and whisper in his ear, so tell me what you know about All Might. 43 He swings his head at me, probably trying to injure me or cause me to go unconscious. I lean out of the way and using my knife, slice his cheek in the process. 8 𝗕𝗏𝗧𝗏, he yelled back at me. What are you going to do, Kaken? Swing your head some more, throw some of your pathetic insults at me. You haven't changed at all, you're still just a bully, in fact. I think the rest of the world should see that you're a bully too. When I get out my sharpest blade and walk behind Kaken. Cutting off his shirt, I run my fingers across his bare back. 121 Using my knife, I start to carve the letter B into his back. Kaken attempts to hold back some screams. Mean, what else would you expect from getting a letter carved into you? 76 So Kaken, do you have any information on All Might now? Or am I going to have to carve some more? I'm not saying anything to a villain. Kaken said in his normal aggressive tone. Dang too bad. I really didn't want to do this to you, but if you won't talk, I guess I have to. I added the letters UO. By now he's bleeding out a lot. And I normally by now wouldn't be able to tell if someone's awake or not because they're too overwhelmed with pain, but Kaken, he still has his pride. 9 It's pitiful, honestly. I carve out the final Y to spell out the word bully, because that's what he is. 32 I look to his face and see a tear drop go down his face. Oh Kaken, you can't actually be sad. I thought the big scary Kaken kneeled for no one. But look at you, you're just a pathetic show-off bully. Kaken says something, but it's quiet and muffled. What was that, Kaken? Man up and yell at pages. 43 Die. 5 Oh Kaken, don't you think I've tried? It turns out causing pain is so much more fun than being in pain. 35 And with that I left. 1 Bakuga's POV 2 Deku walked through the portal, probably going back to the rest of the league right now. 2 F8 My back feels like it's on fire. I can barely move with these restraints. I start looking around the room for any possible way out. It's a fully cemented room without a door and a small half window close to the ceiling. Theses also a bed in the corner and a toilet. 6 Judging by the size of the window, I would not be able to climb out through it. Then I hear someone else enter the cell. It's the warp gate guy. He doesn't say anything, he just unlocks the chains but keeps the quirk cancellation cuff on, then leaves. I'm still kneeling. I know it's going to hurt to move. I mentally prepare knowing that it will be painful and slowly move to the bed. Next time someone enters this room, they are going to get a beating. I was paying attention whenever the portal thing opened, and it takes a few seconds for the person to go through the portal. That gives the opportunity to attack. Sure, they have weapons, but they're no use to them if they're unconscious. From what I've seen of this room, there are no cameras, so I don't think they will realize that a member was taken out until I emerge from the portal instead of the villain. I fall asleep on my stomach because of how much pain my back was in. Dekus POV I enter Kaken's cell again, bringing him food and see him passed out on the bed. I put the food next to a wall and walk up to the sleeping Pomeranian. He's sleeping face down, exposing his back to the air. I put some healing ointment on his new cuts that I had caused. 16 I just don't want an infection to form, because I can't let him go dying on me. If he does, our information also dies. 13 I know 𝗕𝗂𝘁𝗵𝗲 wanted me to do this job because 𝗂𝗂𝗁 knows me, but I think that's why he won't break. He doesn't want to seem weak, especially in front of someone he knows. 55 I leave the food in the room, hopefully he'll eat it once he wakes up. If he died and I don't have any information, I'm done for. By done for I mean 𝗕𝗂𝘁𝗵𝗲 will probably kill me. The portal appears and I go through it. This time the portal takes me directly to my old apartment. I examine the room and see all my old stuff here. The heroes might search here for me soon, so I should probably find another place to stay. I'll probably pick a lock and sleep in an abandoned building. Sure, it's not the most comfortable, but it works. 13 Then a sweet scent filled the apartment. A purple like fog. I started getting really drowsy and before I knew it I was asleep. 𝗕𝗂𝘁𝗵𝗿 24 I open my eyes to see light shining through a window. Looking closer around the room I see that I'm in my dorm room at UA. Fudge, the heroes caught me again. They were probably waiting for me at my apartment knowing I'd go back there eventually. 8 𝗕𝗏𝗁𝗚𝗧𝗏. If the portal wasn't sent there I could have escaped the heroes. Oh well, nothing I can really do about it now. I get up from my bed and walk to the door. I tried opening it but it wouldn't budge. They probably locked me in so I don't try anything. I sit back down on my bed and check to see if I have any knives on me. Turns out they are all taken again. What else would I expect from UA? After about 10 minutes go by I hear a knock on my door. I answer saying, "What is it, hero? Am I allowed to come in?" 13 Aizawa asked from the other side of the door. At least he has some manners, knocking and asking to come in. Sure, why not? One I say, still sitting on my bed. The door unlocks and opens with Aizawa opening it. You escaped and then got recaptured. You're lucky Nizu was able to handle the cops because if it weren't for him you would have been sent to a maximum security prison as a 15-year-old. You were given another chance to redeem yourself. 18 There was a pause. It felt long but was probably only a few seconds. 2 So is there anything else that you need to say? I ask, making sure that he knows I don't want to be here based off of my tone. I have a few more things actually. First, where is Bakugu? What makes you think I know where he is? Also, where is Toga? We figured that you escaping had to do with Bakugu being kidnapped. Also, Toga is in class 1B. She is actually adapting pretty well to the students, unlike how you first arrived. 19 Damn, Aizawa clearly is still mad about yelling at 𝗂𝗁. If you want the truth, here's the truth. I don't know where 𝗂𝗁 is. I do know that he's in the League's hands right now. 𝗕𝗏𝗁𝗁, another question, how did you plan this escape? I didn't. That's it, I didn't plan this at all. Sure, I had my own ideas how to get out, but this was all the League's doing, and the League means nothing to me. They never truly meant anything to me, I just went to them for jobs. Shoot. Did I share too much? Maybe, but I did need to rant to someone. Might as well have been him. So, are classes happening like normal or? I ask because I should probably know what's going to happen. You will be attending classes, but you and Toga will be attending an extra class that will highlight why villainy is bad and all that. 165 𝗂𝗧𝗏 extra class. Maybe I could get out of it if they think I'm heroic enough. That word heroic 8W, it makes me 665 times skip. I end up leaving my room to get food. I haven't really eaten anything since yesterday. I get up and walk to the door. This time it opens. The heroes put the quirk cancellation cuff on me again like expected. I go down the hall to the kitchen and see some of the wannabe heroes there. They look at me like I've done something wrong. I grab a bag of chips and turn back to them. Wadash, I start to say, and then am immediately interrupted by the redhead 2. What have you done with Baku? 1 This brings a smile to my face. This shark boy is so concerned for his friend. 1 I smirk at the fact this guy is so torn up about 𝗂𝗁's disappearance. What have I done with 𝗂𝗁? I could have killed him, I could have tortured him, or I could have left him in a hole to die. You may never know. I say, still smirking. 3 A second after I say that, a hand slaps me in the face, causing my head to turn to the side with the slap. 16 I brought my hand to where he slapped me and turned my head back to him. My smile even wider now. 6 It's been a while since I was slapped that hard. I do deserve it though. Do you want to know why? Why? Because I lean in so only he could hear me too. I tortured him. I carved the word bully into his back because that's what he is. A bully. He got what he freaking deserved. 49. I leaned away from his ear. He was frozen. I couldn't tell if it was from me being so close to him, or if he was thinking of the worst possible scenario for Kakin. 3, or possibly both. The pink girl rushed over to the frozen boy, checking to see if he was okay. I grabbed the bag of chips and walked over to the couch. Sitting down, I started watching the news, trying to get caught up on everything that has happened recently since I haven't been paying attention to current events. 2. I hear the lightning guy say, "Dude, you really are but you know that, right?" 148. I know and I think it's fun, I respond with. 36. And with that, people finally decided to leave me alone. 3. I started paying attention to the news, and it turns out some people are graffitiing anti-UA things around the town. That is interesting, but the news does like to make UA the bad guys a lot. It's kind of funny from a villain's standpoint. 1. The school teaching people how to catch bad guys is made out to look like the bad guys. How ironic. 1. After a few minutes, a brown-haired girl sits next to me. She doesn't seem bothered that she's next to a villain. 28. Weird. Maybe I could get her on the villain's side. That would be a fun challenge. I need to see her hero intentions though. 𝗵𝗃𝗲 9. It's been what I think has been a day and a half. 2. That damn nerd hasn't been in here since the first day. He's probably living it up, acting better than me. 5. My back does feel a bit better, but not by much. It still hurts like a beach to move. For this morning when I woke up, there was food next to one of the walls. Just at the thought of food, my stomach rumbled. Might as well eat it. 2. After I ate the food, the portal opened again. This was my chance. I stand next to the portal, and as someone walked through, I swing at them. The person fell to the floor, knocked out. I looked to see who I knocked out and saw. I knocked out 𝗕𝗁𝗎𝗪. Why is Kiri here? Don't say he was here to rescue me. If he was, I f up his whole but mission. 27. How should I fix this? I start shaking him, trying to wake him up. Eventually he gets up and looks very drowsy and nauseous. He looks at me and his face lights up. 𝗵𝗃𝗁𝗎. He yelled and leaped on me, hugging me. 15. I wince at the pain from him hitting my back. He notices and looks concerned for me. He grabs my shoulders and asks, "What's wrong, 𝗵𝗃𝗁𝗎, bro, you okay?" 7. Yeah, I'm fine, shitty hair. Just, I turned and shows him my back. I couldn't see his face once he saw the carved letters, but I could tell the vibe of the room got darker. Did Deku do this to you? 5. Kiri asked in a darker voice than normal. Yeah, and I think he's planning more too. He can't. He's back at UA. That's how I found you. I talked to him and he gave me some information. Kiri has a smile on his face again, talking about how he found me. I did end up slapping him once he told me what he did to you though. 3. Good, I say. That nerd deserved that. So how did you find where I was? 146. As he explains, we walk over to the bed in the room and sit down on melons together. 16. Well, basically Deku told me that the league has you, so I went to class 1B and found Toga and talked to her. Wait, that BLD chick was captured. 1. Yeah, the same day you were. Anyway, I talked to her and she's kinda creepy, but I manned up and asked her about where the league hideout was. She didn't tell me anything with that, but she did tell me that if I go to a certain alleyway I could probably talk to one of the league's members. So I asked Momo if she could make me track her so if I go missing they could find me. She made one that I could eat so that if they check me I can still be tracked. I went to the alleyway and asked if I could see you. The person there was an alligator guy in a hoodie and I followed him. They tried knocking me out, but with my hardening quirk they weren't able to, so I just walked with them. Eventually they got a quirk cancellation cuff thing on me, so I can't use my quirk. I woke up in a bar place and they said to go through the portal to see you and I went through. Then you knocked me out. 9. Wow, that was one long response. 6. Wait, didn't he say that we are being tracked by Momo? That means we're getting out of here. So we are going to be saved soon, right? I ask. That's what the plan is. So it's just a matter of time before these villains get taken out. Can't wait to explosion murder them. 7. You scare me sometimes, 𝗵𝗃𝗁𝗎 bro. Well, let's hope I'm able to scare the villains. 40. Meanwhile, at Yika's POV, I'm sitting on the couch in the common area of the dorms and hear Aizawa walk in. He's being followed by practically the rest of Class 1A. Aizawa stops and turns around to talk to them. So your plan is to rescue 𝗵𝗃𝗁𝗎 by just storming into his exact location? Yes, that is the plan, Kaminari said with enthusiasm. And you realize that you will most likely be storming into the villain's base. Aizawa said in return, We actually don't think there's going to be a whole lot of villains there. Aizawa raised an eyebrow at that. You see, we were tracking him and saw the path he took. He originally walked to this bar place that we suspect to be their main hideout, then Kirishima, in a split second went to another place and hasn't moved from that location in the past 6 hours. 1. How can you be sure they didn't find the tracker and sent that someplace else to trap us? Aizawa said in his ever-so-tired voice. That wouldn't have happened. You see, he ingested the tracker, so there's no way the villains could find it from looking at him or through his stuff. 18. This is getting ridiculous. If they want a suicide mission, then be my guest. But if they find Kaken and he spills, I'm screwed and the League will be gunning for me as soon as I get out of you, legally or illegally. 3. Have you considered that he's dead, and they threw his body in a dump, or they are going to feast on his corpse? Maybe he's working for the League and he's just taking a load off. He could even be torturing information out of Kaken right now. Or he could just be kidnapped. We may never know. For I say, looking down but still smiling. They probably won't actually take what I'm saying into consideration, but it is fun to see them on edge like that. The thought that one of their friends betrayed them, or that he is dead and their efforts are fruitless. 7. We are still going to try to get our friends back, no matter the cost. The brown-haired girl that sat next to me spoke. We care about them. Even if Bakugo has a cold outer shell, he still cares about us. I mean, he has helped many of us study, and once he shared some of his popcorn with us during a movie night. He's not all bad of a person. And Kiri, he has a heart of gold. He cares about everyone even if he doesn't get all the love in return. 25. Kaken is still a bully, even if he is nice to you guys. He's a bully and I made sure he will remember that. 2. What does that mean, Deku? The Ida guy asks. Plus, if you find him you will see, but that's if you find him and if you make it out alive. 10. And with that remark I get up and walk to my room. I like having the last word, especially if it keeps them on edge. Dekus POV 12. These heroes are so dumb, they think that they can beat the League. I doubt they will pull it off. I do want to see the League go down though. I've never really been a fan of them, I only ever went there looking for work. They were able to pay me for killing people and I took the offer. It is very possible that they succeed at this mission though. It's impressive. They care about each other the same way the League cares about each other. They act like a family to each other. It would be nice having people care about me in that way, but that would only get in the way. I can't have emotional arrangements if I'm a villain. If I do, they only become a liability. 12. I hear a knock on my door. What do you want? I yell at the person on the other side of the door. We kinda need your help. I open the door and see the Kaminari, Siro, and Ishido standing there. Well, come on in, I say begrudgingly. 13. Denki's POV. We enter his room. It's kinda dark since he doesn't have his lights on. Anyway, we all kinda just stand awkwardly as he shuts the door behind us. Why does it feel like I'm about to get murdered? I whisper to my friends next to me. 11. It's because I'm a professional at being ominous, and I am a villain. What else do you expect? 1. Deku talking was scary. I didn't know villains tried this hard to be creepy. 7. Then I felt blinded by the lights turning on. I squint and eventually my eyes adjusted. Dude, what was that all about? I heard Siro ask from beside me. I just wanted to see how many times I would have been able to murder you if I had my knives on me. 2. Deku walked around and sat on his bed. His room wasn't that decorated, but I doubt the pros would have let him decorate it himself. So how many times would you've been able to kill us? Mina asks. 23 times. 7. Wow, 23, that seems like overkill to me. 12. Anyways, you 3 said you needed my help with something. Oh yeah, I kinda forgot, that's why we came here. 1. We need your help in getting Bakugo and Kirishima back. I say kind of fast so he might not fully understand me and just agree to it. 2. You need my help in getting Kaken back. Deku said slow and scary like. 2. And Kirishima, Mina added, you guys realize that I'm the reason that he's kidnapped, right? And you also realize that I tortured him. I carved into him. And I would have done more if it weren't for me getting caught. I was planning on burning him with hot metal tomorrow, and if he still didn't give the League information, I would V-18 stop. 3. Siro yelled at Deku. Deku was originally looking down while saying that monologue, then looked up at Siro once he was cut off. 1. From next to me I heard Mina's voice. Why did you say the league like that? You sounded like you don't like them. 1. That's a fair question. I didn't even really realize that he said it like that. All this is too much for my brain to handle. 8. You see the League of Villains and I haven't always gotten along. Shigaraki is so childish, and if he wasn't so petty I could probably get behind them. I went to them for jobs and they gave me money in return. I am going to laugh in his face once he's taken down though. 2. Wait a minute. 1. So what you're saying is that you want to see the league fall, right? I say, no, I see where you're going with this and it's not going to work. If you want the league to go down, you can help take it down with us. Then you get to laugh at the hand guy like you want. I say with probably too much enthusiasm in my voice. Deku looks like he's thinking, this might have actually worked. If we get him to work with us he can infiltrate the headquarters from the inside and keep them distracted while we get Kiri and Baku back. A foolproof plan. What's in it for me? I actually didn't expect this question. 7. What's in it for him? I whisper to my friend standing next to me too. You don't remember, Aizawa told us what to say if he asks that. Mina responds with, oh yeah right, I kind of forgot what those things are. You're lucky you have me, Mina responds back with Mina turning her attention back to Deku says, we were told we can offer you a day off of your extra class and I'm throwing in this bag of chips. 54. Mina pulls out a bag of chips and throws it at Deku. He catches it without hesitation. Even in scenarios like this it's easy to tell that he has amazing abilities. Make it 3 days and we have a deal. 3, 2 days and a second bag of chips. 11. Mina goes to grab the second bag. Her facial expression changes from cocky to confused. I swear I just had it on me, Mina mutters to herself. 1. Oh yeah about that. Deku pulls the bag from behind his pillow. I kinda stole it from you when you entered the room. Along with your watch and your wallet. 24. Deku threw my watch back at me and threw Zero's wallet at him. 1. I kept $5, hope you don't mind. Oh, and I'll take the 2 days off offer. 6. He said while getting up and leaving the room. Wait, this is your room. I yell after him as he exits the room. I know, and then he shut the door as he left. 25. Why did he leave his own room? That's so weird. But hey, at least we got a man on the inside. 12. We are definitely going to pull off this mission. I mean, what can go wrong? Third person POV, Aizawa sensei. Denki was yelling from the other side of the dorms. He said yes. 12. Aizawa was standing next to All Might and Nizu. They were discussing how their rescue mission is going to work. Nizu was the first one to talk to the students running towards them. Ah, good, now that he's on board, he turns to Aizawa. Are you going to go in and tell him what he has to do? Sure, yeah, Aizawa said in his ever so tired voice. 2. Aizawa walks away from the rest of the group and goes down the hall by Deeku's room. Deeku's POV. I re-enter my room after I left the heroes in there for dramatic effect. 33. I hear another knock on my door. Who is it this time? Before I'm able to say something, the person on the other side of the door says something. It's Aizawa. Can I come in and give you the information about what's going to happen? You can enter. 19. The door opens and in comes the tired teacher. 2. So how's this whole plan going to go down? I ask because I'm not just flying in blind here. I need to have some sort of strategy. It is the league we're taking about. 1. You are going to have a bug on you and a tracker. Will my bracelet cuff thing be off then? I interrupt him. This cuff is really annoying and I keep getting itchy on my wrist whenever it's on. We will take the cuff off. May I continue explaining now? 1. Go ahead. I saw wanting to know more. 8. Okay, so you will be tracked, so don't try any escaping. I roll my eyes because of how cautious they're being. 4. What we need you to do is go to their base. For all they know you are still free, so they won't expect anything weird if you go in and act normal. You acting like your normal self is key in this. 10. He realizes that the league and I aren't buddy-buddy. They might actually hate me. I haven't been able to give them any information on All Might, so they aren't the happiest with me. Anyway, Aizawa keeps talking. You will go into their base and if I heard right you were torturing Bakugo, is that true? He probably heard from the grapevine that I tortured him. 13. Yeah, it's true. The league needed someone close to him to torture him so he would spill information on All Might, and now that they got that Kirishima kid they are probably torturing him in front of Kaken trying to get him to spill. The way they are both in pain right now. 𝗧𝗏 did a slow blink. It kinda looked like he was falling asleep, but I do know he cares for his students. He does indeed want them back. 10. So what we need you to do once you get to the headquarters is to ask to go to 𝗵𝗃𝗲𝗁 cell because you want to try to get more information out of him. Way they will let you in without suspicion. By the time you get to their cell they should be gone and you will tell them that they escaped. The important part of this is that they are distracted and that no one in their cell with them while they are being rescued. Does that make sense? 2. Yeah, go to the league, distract them for a few minutes while they are escaping and tell them that they got out. It's not that hard to understand. Good. When would you normally go to their headquarters? Around 9 p.m.-ish 2100 hours, but there isn't really a set time, just whenever I needed money or wanted to kill some. 9. I continued talking. I'm going to need to stop at my apartment and I'm going to need knives. I also can't look this clean/smell this nice. I reek of heroes. 4. We discussed matters like this in a meeting. Here's what the police are letting you do. He took a breath. You are allowed to stay at your apartment for a week. You will be monitored from a distance and we will install cameras in your apartment. You are not allowed to leave it unless you have a specific reason. You will be trailed from a distance by a hero in disguise. Try to make the local villains know you're back but don't kill anyone. If you do you will be in a ton of trouble and I don't want to do paperwork, so stay non-murdery. Is this reasonable? 13. I get to go back to my villain life just with less killing, and probably no robbery with that. It's better than staying in this hero dorms. We have a deal. 𝗧𝗏 started to leave my room. Before he was fully out of sight he stopped. I'd recommend getting going on packing whatever you want at your apartment for the week, and with what he fully left my field of vision. Plus this is going to be a really fun week. 3. I grab my still scorched villain outfit and that's pretty much it. It's not like I was able to pack once I was captured. They just kinda took me. 8. Anyways, I meet up with 𝗧𝗏 and they put the tracking device on me along with a taser thing, so if I try anything they can instantly put me unconscious if need be. 5. I get my villain outfit on and the heroes take off the cuff. Finally that thing is off. I roll my wrist now that it's finally free. I'm given a head nod and I'm let free into the world.